Welcome to this Andor Episode 9 review and breakdown. The slow burn builds up, but we are still having the tension ramped up as we get reveals of Mon Mothma's family, and Andor is never getting out of his work camp unless he can break out. Now we follow up with Bix after she was captured and taken to the hotel. We see how she is about to be audio tortured. Torture is, of course, nothing new to the world of Star Wars, be it a force choke or the pain chair. There was also that deleted scene of Leia being interrogated by a droid. While I said last week the Poured Act is similar to the Patriot Act, this torture is very similar to the white noise or heavy metal used on prisoners of war during the War on Terror. Metallica and other things would be played, and the fact that the Imperials took over the hotel, a key location, is similar how to the Coalition of the Willing would commandeer palaces and any building they deemed fit in Iraq and Afghanistan. Here we have Bix exposed to audio of child beings which were known as Dizonites. They were a race the Imperials deemed a nuisance, and there was audio of them being attacked, and they isolated the chilling sounds of the children to use for torture. Bix is being tortured over the course of the episode, and Data and the ISB want to track Luthen and Andor, as well as the rebel Krieger, who we found out last week was a separatist, the enemy in the prequels. The problem is, her message to find Andor ended up in the wrong hands, and she fell into the ISB net, and as thus, she is now being tortured. It's a consequence of the rebel action, which I love to see or hate to see. It's just interesting to see, and a nice detail we saw last week in the prison. The Andor's actions led to Poured, which doubles sentences and more. The ISB interestingly overlook Andor's mother, saying she's frail and is just bait, unbeknown to them that she is aiming to take out the Imperials at the hotel, possibly how Bix gets out after revealing some info, and the radio owner being hung is chilling how nonchalant the Imperial guy wanted to hang him. Now, later we learn of a rebel pilot who was captured after he had a similar part to that which Andor had, the Star Pathfinder, and, well, that was left at Ferrix there, as we know. The net is closing on Anton Krieger, who couldn't quite make it out, who Luthen wanted to team up last week with Saw before being declined, as Saw does not deal with anyone.
Anton Krieger. I want you to meet him.
Anton Krieger.
Each of the stories were gripping in their own way, albeit Cyril is getting a bit annoying now, and his stalking of Daedra felt a bit out of place there. We learn that Mon Mothma and Shock, her cousin, is Vel. Mon Mothma was aghast at Aldani's attack after it happened, and no doubt she will be fuming that Luthen used her cousin in the Imperial's 9/11. She's told to lay low for a while and act the part of a high society girl. This reminded me of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, how Bruce was actually forced to be a playboy so people, get off his case there. She says she's fighting the dark, which is, the dark side. Mothma also has money issues with moving her stuff around, and it's revealed the guy helping her is an ex-Flame. She needs to see a dodgy geezer called Davos to paper over the accounting issues of 400,000. Davos might be a reference to Swiss banks, with Davos being a place in Switzerland. Over in the prison camp, we see Andor start to really take to what's going on, but also work out ways to escape. The brutality of the work leads to an elderly man having a stroke, and this was absolutely visceral and gut-punching. Rumours fly over a whole level of people being killed, and it turns out that no one is getting out, as 100 people were killed after they noticed that someone who was released earlier was put back in the facility, meaning the hope that Andy Serkis' character has of getting out is gone, and his compliance will also be gone, which we saw him chipped away at as Andor chipped away at him. He tries to play by the Imperial's rules, be a good prisoner, do what they say, force people to do what they want, and he starts to come around to the idea that maybe escape is the only option. I love that the ISB have no clue that Andor is actually already captured. However, they have an updated ID on him as the guards at Aldani, and his description of a clean-shaven upon return to Ferrix, they do match up, meaning that maybe he will be ID'd at some point soon. We know that Luthen's associate is possibly about to be captured, as the rebel pilot who was working for him has been killed or will be killed, and his ship will be pushed into the space as bait. We will have to see where the show goes next. I'm very excited, but this is easily the best Star Wars in a while, despite this episode being a bit slower than the other one. Maybe because it didn't have as many Easter eggs, but I think it's really cool nonetheless. Let me know what you think down below. Do like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.